3 days. I've been walking for 3 days. The coordinates were supposed to be here, the Temple of Hathor, my grandmother's life work. My promise to her, I can't feel my legs anymore. The water ran out yesterday, or was it 2 days ago? I can't remember. God, I can't remember. Hassan was right. This was suicide. I'm going to die out here chasing a ghost, an angel. No, angels don't look this angry. Drink slowly. Not too fast, you will be sick. Slowly. Foolish woman, what madness brings you here alone? The temple. The only temple you will see is death if you do not listen to me. Foreigners, always the same. They come to the desert with their maps and their pride. They never learn the desert does not care about your plans. 42 people I have saved in 10 years. All of them left, thanked me, gave me money, promised to write, then vanished back to their comfortable lives. This one will be no different. But perhaps I will try to keep this one alive a little longer.
The first thing I noticed was the smell. Incense, tea, clean fabric. Nothing like the stench of my own fear I've been breathing for days. My eyes fluttered open. I sat up quickly, panicked, looking around a traditional Bedouin tent filled with warm light and beautiful textiles. Where am I? Who? A man sat across the tent, pouring tea, his movements calm and deliberate. You are alive against remarkable odds. Our eyes met, and my breath caught in my throat. He was not what I expected. Younger than I thought, maybe 30. His hands had known hard work. His eyes had seen everything. And he was watching me like I was a problem he hadn't quite solved. Who are you? I asked, my voice raspy. Karim al-Rashid. I found you dying in the sand 2 days ago. 2 days? No, I have to get back to my camp. My research team. I tried to stand, but my legs buckled immediately. He was there in an instant, catching me before I could fall. Your research almost killed you. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. Another foreigner who thinks the desert is a playground. His hands were gentle, but his words were not. I'm not a tourist, I said, defensive. I'm Dr. Maya Sinclair, Cambridge University. I've been studying what? He cut me off. How to die of stupidity. That is the only lesson you learned out there. I glared at him, but he stared back, completely unmoved. Has anyone ever told you that you have terrible people skills? Yes, the other 42 people I saved from themselves. I wanted to hate him. God, I wanted to hate him. But when he handed me that glass of tea, his fingers brushed mine. Just for a second, and something shifted. Thank you, I said, my voice softer, for saving my life. You are welcome, he replied, just as softly. Now promise me you will not waste it. There was a long look between us, the air crackling with chemistry. I'm Maya. I know, you told me, several times. You also told me about your grandmother, ancient Egypt, and something about Cambridge's terrible coffee. My face flushed with mortification. Oh God, what else did I say? A hint of a smile touched his lips. That I have beautiful eyes. You repeated that one many times. I buried my face in my hands. He actually laughed, a low, warm sound. Dehydration makes people honest. Dehydration makes people insane, I mumbled into my palms. Perhaps, but you were not wrong. I looked up sharply. Was he flirting? His expression was completely unreadable. Later that evening, I sat at the tent entrance, staring at the desert sunset. I'd spent 5 years studying dead civilizations, reading about people who loved and lost thousands of years ago. But sitting there, watching the sun paint the dunes gold and crimson, I realized I'd never actually lived. Not really. Karim sat beside me, handing me a plate of food. Eat. You need strength. Kareem, why do you stay out here? Alone? I am not alone. I have the desert. That's not the same as having people. He looked toward the horizon. People leave. The desert stays. There was a story there. Pain, loss. But he locked it away like treasure buried in sand. I won't leave, I told him. Not yet. I still need to find the temple. You can barely walk. Then teach me. Teach me to survive here. You know this desert better than anyone. Why would I help you risk your life again? Because you didn't save me just to keep me in a cage? Did you? He turned to me then, his eyes searching my face. I realized he was right, and that terrified me. 1 week. I will teach you for 1 week. Then you return to your people. Deal. We shook hands, and the touch lingered longer than it should have. 1 week, I thought. What could possibly happen in 1 week? As the stars emerged above us, infinite and indifferent, I knew the answer. Everything. Everything could happen. Day 5. He told me to close my eyes to feel the wind. From the north, it carried coolness, a hint of moisture. From the east, heat and danger. He stood behind me, so close I could feel his breath on my neck. I told myself it was professional, but this was just teaching. His hand guided my arm, showing me how to feel the air currents. But even then, I knew I was lying to myself. Day 7. We were learning desert navigation. See that rock formation? He asked. From this angle, it looks like a camel. Tomorrow, from the south, it will look like a man praying. The desert changes. You must change with it. I asked him how he remembered it all. He just smiled slightly and said, the desert is not something to remember. It is something to become. Every word he spoke was like poetry, ancient wisdom wrapped in simple sentences. He made me want to listen. To everything. Forever. Day 9. We were lying on blankets under the infinite cosmos, learning the stars. That constellation, he pointed, is Althariah. Your people call it the Pleiades. My grandfather taught me to navigate by it when I was 7 years old. It was incredible, like diamonds scattered by a careless god. Yes, he said quietly. Like that, we both stared up at the sky, our hands just inches apart on the blanket. Neither of us moved. I could feel the space between us. 6 inches that felt like 6 miles. God, I wanted to close it. I could feel her wanting to reach for me, and I wanted her to. He sat up abruptly. It is late. We should sleep. And just like that, the walls came back up. I was so disappointed. Day 11. It was my turn to cook. The flatbread, well, it was completely burned. Kareem just stared at the charred remains. I have no words in English or Arabic for this. I protested. Oh, come on, it's not that bad. He looked at me, dead serious. It is worse. The camels would refuse this. That was it. I grabbed a handful of flour and threw it right at him. Direct hit to the face. He just froze, completely shocked. For a second, I thought I'd gone too far. Then this wicked grin spread across his face, and he threw flour right back at me. A full-on playful fight erupted. I heard him laugh, a real, genuine laugh. Like a child, like someone who had forgotten how joy felt. And my heart it broke right open. We finally collapsed in the flour-covered tent, laughing. Our eyes met, and the laughter died. The air grew thick. I should move away. Stand up, leave. Instead, I was frozen, just staring at the flour in her hair, wanting to brush it away, wanting to. Kareem. The moment shattered. He stood up quickly. I will get water to clean this mess. He left, and I just sat there breathing hard. What was I doing? Falling for a desert guide who'd saved me? How cliché, how stupid, how inevitable. Day 14. We were sitting by the evening campfire. A comfortable silence settled between us. Tell me about your family, I finally asked. He paused for a long time. My father died when I was 19. Heart attack. My mother remarried, moved to Cairo. My sister is a doctor now. In Alexandria. You must be proud, I said. I am. She escaped the desert, built a real life. And you? I stayed, he said. Someone had to protect the old ways, the stories, the roots. I had to ask, do you ever regret it? Every day. Until now, until you. Sometimes, he said aloud. Your turn. Tell me about your grandmother. I smiled at the memory. Her name was Eleanor. She was fierce, brilliant, obsessed with ancient Egypt since she was a girl. She spent 40 years searching for the Temple of Hathor. Everyone said it was a myth. She died believing she failed. And you want to finish her work? He stated, not asked. I nodded. I promised her. The night before she died, I held her hand and promised I'd find it. Proof she was right. Tears started slipping down my cheeks without me realizing. Kareem reached out and gently wiped them away. His touch was so soft. She would be proud of you, he said. Even if you cannot cook, I laughed through my tears. His thumb lingered on my cheek, sending shivers through me. This was the moment. I felt it. The moment everything changed. Kareem, what are we doing? I whispered. His voice was rough. Something foolish. Do you want to stop? No, God help me, no. You will leave soon, he said, pulling away slightly. Back to your university, your life? What if I don't want to? I challenged. He stood up then, agitated. You say that now, here, under the stars, but reality always returns. I stood to face him. You don't know what I want. Then tell me, he demanded. You. I want you. Is that clear enough? The words hung in the air between us like a held breath. I had saved 42 people. 42 times I watched them leave. I swore I would never let anyone matter, never let anyone stay. And here she was, destroying every promise I ever made to myself. Maya, this cannot work, I finally managed to say. Our worlds are too different, and let's create a new one, she replied, stepping so close I could feel her warmth. She looked right into my eyes. Tell me you don't feel this. Tell me I'm alone in this. Tell me and I'll walk away. I couldn't tell her that because it would be a lie. The worst lie I ever told. My voice broke. I cannot what? She pushed. Lie to you. And then I kissed her. It was desperate, inevitable, like the desert wind completely unstoppable. The world just disappeared. The desert, the stars, the impossibility of it all. Nothing existed except his hands in my hair, his lips on mine, his heart beating against my chest. I was lost, completely, irrevocably lost. I'd studied love in ancient texts, poetry carved in stone, letters written thousands of years ago. But I never understood it, not until this. What are you thinking? That I never want to leave this tent? Eventually we must eat details, get dressed. I want to show you something more mysterious than this. Yes, we rode for 3 hours. He wouldn't tell me where we were going, just kept glancing back at me with this look, nervous, excited, scared. My grandfather made me swear. Never show outsiders, never reveal the location, protect it with my life. But she was not an outsider anymore. Was she? The hieroglyphs started appearing. Old Kingdom, 4th Dynasty. My heart was hammering. I recognized the symbols. Kareem. These are... Keep walking. Oh my God, Grandma, you were right. You were right about everything. How? How did you know? My grandfather showed me when I was 10 years old. His father showed him. Our family has protected this place for 7 generations. Protected it? From what? From people who would exploit it. Turn it into a tourist attraction. Destroy its sanctity. And there it was. The impossible choice. Take this discovery public, fulfill my promise, make my career, honor my grandmother. Or keep his family's secret. Protect what he loves. Choose him over everything I came for. Why are you showing me? Because I trust you, because I love you. Say it again. I love you and this temple. It is my gift to you, to your grandmother's memory. Kareem, if I report this, teams will come. Archaeologists, tourists, government officials, I know. Your family will hate you. You'll lose everything you've protected. Some things are worth protecting more than others. You taught me that. How do you choose between a promise to the dead and a life with the living? How do you weigh love against duty? Dreams against reality? My grandfather said this was a temple of love, not just worship. People came here to be blessed in their marriages, to pray for lost lovers. Hathor was the goddess of love, joy, and motherhood. Do you believe she is still here, listening? I believe some places hold on to the emotions poured into them. Generations of hope, love, prayer. Maybe that never dies. In that moment, standing in the temple with her, I understood. I would lose her. Whether she stayed or left, I would lose her. Because the world would pull her away, or guilt would eat her alive. I don't know what to do. You must tell your people. This is too important to hide. But your family will forgive me, eventually, or they will not. But I will not be the reason you break your promise. Come with me. When I report this, there will be funding, teams. You could be the lead guide. We could work together, protect it together, turn this into a circus. Watch strangers flood my home with their cameras in disrespect. It doesn't have to be that way. We can do this right. Controlled access. Preservation first. You really believe that? I've seen what happens when the world discovers something. It devours it. So what do? You go. You publish your findings. You fulfill your promise. You live the life you were meant to live. And I stay where I belong. That's it. We just end. Tell her to stay. Tell her you will follow her anywhere. Tell her the truth that you would give up everything for one more day with her. Yes. I wanted to scream, to rage, to tell him he was wrong. But looking at his face, he believed this. He truly believed the only way to love me was to let me go. What if I don't want to go? What you want and what you need are not always the same. I found what I was searching for, the temple, the proof. My grandmother's vindication. Everything I ever wanted. So why did it feel like losing everything that mattered? Day 18. We barely spoke those last 2 days. What was there to say? Sorry? Thank you? I love you, but not enough to stay? He loved me, but not enough to come. Every moment felt like dying, slowly, watching her fold her clothes, seeing her put away the journal where she'd sketched my face, knowing in hours she would be gone. So you'd not forget. I could never forget. People say that. Then life moves forward. You will find someone else, someone who fits your world. I don't want someone else. You will. The same route that saved my life was now taking me away from it. Funny how geography works. Same roads, different meaning. We arrived at my research camp, and Dr. Hassan rushed out to greet us. Maya, thank God. We've been searching for... He stopped when he saw Kareem. He saw our faces, the unspoken grief hanging between us, and understood immediately. Thank you for bringing her back safely. It was my honor. His voice was formal, distant, like we were strangers again. Hassan, I found it. The temple. It's real. You actually found it? I looked at Kareem, a silent acknowledgement passing between us. We found it. I pulled out my documentation, the photos, the GPS coordinates. Hassan was stunned, his eyes wide with disbelief. This is Maya. This is the discovery of the decade. We must contact the university immediately. And there it was. The moment I had dreamed of since I was 16 years old. Success, recognition, my grandmother's dream fulfilled. Why did it taste like ashes? I should go. Wait, I followed him to his Land Rover. We stood there, a foot of air between us, an uncrossable chasm. How do we say goodbye? Quickly, like removing a bandage. That's not funny. It was not meant to be. His gaze was intense, burning into me. I memorized her face. The way the sun caught her hair. The exact color of her eyes when she was about to cry. The way she stood strong but breaking. I memorized it all because memory was all I would have. Kiss me, hold me, tell me you've changed your mind. Tell me anything except the bye. Be safe, Maya. Live well. Kareem, he got in the truck. He didn't look back, just drove away, leaving a cloud of dust in his wake. I watched until the dust settled, until there was nothing left but desert and silence. And I finally understood what my grandmother meant when she said, "Some discoveries break your heart while fulfilling your dreams." 6 months later, I was back in Cambridge. I became everything I thought I wanted to be. Dr. Maya Sinclair, the archaeologist who found me impossible. My face was on the cover of magazines, my name in newspapers. I was giving keynote speeches at packed conferences, published in every major journal. My grandmother's name was restored, her legacy secured. But every night, when the city noise died down and the rain tapped against my apartment windows, I would find myself staring at the small vial of sand he'd given me. Every night, I dreamed of desert silence, of stars that actually meant something, of hands that knew hard work and a voice that made simple words sound like poetry. My phone rang. It was Hassan. Maya, the board approved the full excavation. $3 million in funding. They want you to lead the entire project. You'll return to Egypt in 3 months. Egypt. Not the desert, not him. Just work, just ruins. Just everything I lost when I found what I was looking for. That's wonderful, Hassan. You don't sound wonderful. Can I ask you something? Do you have regrets? There was a long pause on the other end of the line. I was engaged once, 20 years ago. Beautiful woman, Layla. She wanted marriage, children, a normal life. I chose archaeology. I chose to chase the past instead of building a future. Do you regret it? Every single day. Maya. Success is empty if you have no one to share it with. I learned that too late. Please don't make my mistake. I hung up the phone and looked around my apartment. The walls were covered in my achievements awards, certificates, framed articles. My eyes landed on a single small photograph I kept on my desk. It was of me and Kareem, standing in the entrance of the temple we'd found together. He was smiling, a real, genuine smile that reached his eyes. My grandmother had spent her entire life searching for a temple, and she died never finding it. I found it, but in doing so, I had lost something far more precious. And suddenly, with a clarity that cut through all the noise and accolades, I understood. The temple was never the point. Love was, connection was, living was. I looked at the photo one last time, then at the half-packed suitcase for Egypt sitting in the corner. I knew what I had to do. The path to my greatest discovery wasn't in the past. It was waiting for me under the desert sun. Thank you for watching. If the story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more.